This is like the wrong time. Looks like the slide is continuing over. It's
Hello.
like almost like a day one and day two slide that's happening right now for Pink, and that is our like top teams right now. And take a look at the board. There's action happening down there in Steamy, and also as well, you have the things at Retail Row. So all the battles that we kind of highlighted at the analyst desk are actually popping off right now.
Yeah, if we can get POV swapping from Lazy to Steamy to see what the situation is right now between both sides of the fight. Teams are going down all the way across both these POIs on the map. So Lazy will be a big influence too, because Sancho, the team that wins out from here, has a lot to say on the map. They usually end up just dominating everyone else after this fight.
Especially that zone one, take a look at it. It's right then and there, so it's going to be an opportunity there for that home zone. But yes, I agree with you. We're going to leave this moment here at Lazy Lake and take a look what is the next battle we're going to see. Yes, Falcon is sending down beams towards Nebs and Stompy. Looks like we're going to stay here for a bit longer, but I agree. Steamy Stacks, a lot of things are happening. Yeah, we'll see Falcon just dive down as a 3v2. So Nebs, Stompy, they're going to be a little bit of a disadvantage right now. ARs though in Falconly's inventory. This is the cost of maintaining control of a POI. You don't get to loot as much, so Nebs and Stompy might have a little bit more firepower, affected though by this beam from Falconly. Looks like Stompy has a parasite on his head that'll give him a lot of protection from any other shots coming in. Gonna be very interesting all around. We'll see what ends up happening next. Falconly is just doing a very good job at staying back, making sure one exit from the south side of Lazy is being covered at all times. It's forcing Stompy and Nebs into this fight with Kha'Zix and ZQ. It's glorious positioning from someone that just has ARs to work with. Just look at this. There's no way Stompy can run. They turn a box of a square into just a triangle with 3 sides only, and it's so much easier for his teammates to fight. Now getting close and personal with it. They're looking for the finisher. Falconly going in. Shots from the side, though, blocked. This man is fighting Nebs, who's at 1 HP. He is so buttery though, slippery the whole way through. Oh no!
He had to take a pickaxe out to deal with that one. The disrespect plus the big elim to win out Lazy Lake.
All this is happening, Shayo, it's because Void's trio is basically pushed out Falcon's trio out of Holly Hatchery. So you talk about parasites and whatnot, they coming from an alien biome and they're being the parasite to Pink. That's third place, already going down so early and disrespected with the pickaxe.
Yeah, we haven't seen it go that hard yesterday. That's hard. All it was very close. Yeah,
it's hard.
This time it's like it's personal.
Hey, yo,
this is overnight.
This is only game 1. We have 8 here to go. Slow down, please.
Yeah, and this is the POV we're looking at. Not close to Holly Hatchery, really, but a very powerful one. Kiriachi to Stormy right on your screen right now. First place after the first day. I mean, they had their hands in so many cookie jars. End game playing just phenomenally, early game as well with crazy splits. They kind of own an entire hemisphere of the map, Sancho. This split they have from, you know, Sludgy Swamp all the way to Logjam, it's ridiculous.
Very much so, and considering that Savage Trio is there, you saw their little pink arrows, and I was looking at the bottom views and I thought, well, you know, why not Savage Trio? They're the ones that would be under the bullseye of Tooth Kiriachi Stormy, but so far there's been a mutual agreement in terms of just gameplay, not letting them, you know, they're not crossing swords right there. So it's quite interesting to see. I would think, like, if Kiriachi is desperate for Storm Sword attacks, he would definitely go in to save it. And just to give you an update, as we're going back to Lazy Lake here, Malibuca's trio has been eliminated, and also Sai has been eliminated. So the battles out there at Steamy Stacks and Retail Row is still, I would say, going the momentum of the ones that were doing well in day 1.
Absolutely. So a lot of same patterns we saw from the first day being repeated on the second. For Clement, Floki to Siptos. Kind of a good thing overall. They're looking to just try to further their lead, get inside that top 10, get into the conversation inside these finals.
At least they're on their feet. You know, they're out there with Analyx and Misty Meadows, and just to see them rotate early to Lazy Lake, that's a pretty good sign for them here on game 1 here in day 2.
Oh, very good point. Yesterday, they were having a lot of issues with these earlier fights. They went down, one of the first teams to go down on the entire field in the earlier game. So you're right, to see them actually moving, rotating. This is giving me signs of, you know, classic Folky Clement Decepto. So used to land all the way at Pleasant Park on the north side, Sancho. Maybe they're going back home.
Hey, maybe that's where, you know, home is where you make it, though, when it comes to Fortnite. So Misty Meadows wasn't working out for them, but every time they did walk out of Misty Meadows, they were able to get at least 60 points in the game. They weren't, and the times that they didn't, they only got about 2 points or so. One thing as well in the feed seeing here, it's Central Mountains. Ingram is getting knocked there by the Backfeast trio. Yes, here's what I want to see. Zesty, Hyjo, and Backfeed, they were all over the mid-map here, and it seems when you drop in mid-map, you have options, and right now, I did see this push before in the VODs. Ingram does try to push into the Aftermath, usually try to hangs out at the Defiant Dish area, but Ingram, Vox, and Buzz, they have not been getting Storm Surge tags up there on their perches, so they come down to get a box fight. Hey, and they're greeted Vox and Buzz now a duo.
Absolutely. And one big thing for this Loot Boy trio they're fighting, they're kind of taste testers. They like to get maybe one Elim or two and then run away. This is kind of surprising and different from day one to actually clamp down on a fight and see it the whole way through. Backfeed might be rudely interrupted by a shot. And
oh, wow.
Benji's winning on the backside. Tayson's now here taking height. There's suddenly 4 teams here in the matter of 4 seconds.
Look at this aggression from Tayson coming all the way from Believer Beach, going right into the heart of the map here at the Aftermath. And yes, Benji's here too. It just shows you how much Storm Surge has been a factor, and teams are getting aggressive here to start day 2.
Every time we saw a fight like this on day 1, it was disaster for all teams involved. So rightfully a good rotation from Reason, Vino, and Tayson to just kind of get away, look for any damage possible. 41
nice.
Tag really good there for Surge, so they'll be on and honestly controlling everything in front of these 3 trios. 4, there's another one coming in from the back. Having a base launch, being able to just get ahead of everyone else, make your own room, it's so important. Looks like CL, Sapphic, Putric, and Centric's Default are doing that, but they're kind of rudely interrupted by Chapix, Janus, and what I would assume would be Hen somewhere in the distance.
Last night when I was casting NA West, I call these warp rotations because you would not believe that they were actually there. You're talking about Janus, Hen, and Chapix coming from Craggy Cliffs all the way down here south central of the Corny Complex. Like, that's how much they are being so aggressive with these rotations. This is a new meta that's sort of developing. I mean, I was watching Arcrum rotate all the way down from Believer Beach to Hydro 16 before even Zone 1 closes, bro.
I mean, you know, there's some players that want to survive the finals and maybe get a top 5. Janus, Chapix, and they want to own EU Sancho. So
yeah,
they might be dropping near Craggy, but the whole map is their own, and it has been in a previous FNCS season. Now, they didn't win last season. They're trying to get it done again now to get that 2 under their belt. We'll see if it's going to be possible. We'll also have Benji here, who, you know, fan favorite rolling in. Everyone wants Benji to win. He's tried with so many different teams in the past, and yesterday to today, we were watching things that were looking pretty good. They had height in a few games. Now, though, off of this position, with these many trios around, we'll have to be very careful with what they do.
And a veteran, they're being contested at Drop there, being contested at Corning Complex. You know, it's been contested at Pleasant Park before in Season 4. And, you know, yeah, we all want to see Benji do well. The thing is, they have been doing well. I mean, you know, only 4 games is a small sample. In honest truth, when we're trying to do Valkyrie, I was like, okay, I mean, they had center position. They're doing really well. Maybe they kind of get swallowed by a rotation going to Zone 5. But still, these are one of the trios that they clean up a couple of things. I think they're going to have a really good day, too.
I got the inflatable to use as well. That's going to be, I would say, our favorite item, right, of the season. It's been so cool to watch people rotate with it, go for crazy plays as well as some of those qualifier rounds. It's a nice clutch when it's needed, but that Sniper 2 in Benji's inventory, that can do a lot of damage.
You have to watch the highlight for NA West of Arcrum using that inflatable and surviving. Oh, so good. It's on the FN Competitive Twitter. You're welcome, FN Competitive Twitter.
Definitely. So many good plays, so many highlights over the last day across all regions. Right now, the focus for all these players, even if they watched yesterday, is just surviving this crazy, weird freeze in time. There's so many different trios stuck here in Corny Complex. I don't think they assumed the zone would really pull all the way towards this east side on zone number 2. So this next rotation is going to be sticky for a lot. You got to get past this river. There's a high point of elevation, this bridge, and bridges are so hard to cross in finals lobbies. Someone always ends up going down, or you have to use a launch pad. Red Rush map be Exterios. I wonder what they do here.
Yeah, definitely as well. You talk about Launchpad. The permapad out there in the dockside dish here is going to be in play, and also those ridges, those mountain range of the, you know, the blue antenna from dockside going all the way to where the gas station is. All that's going to be available, so it's going to be interesting to see when we get to in game.
One big thing about the mid game, which we're about to dive into, is Fortnite's unique kind of system that's in place to get teams active, to actually make competitive interesting in a sense. It's called Storm Surge. So basically, you'll have to deal enough damage, or else the server starts to do damage. You have to be at a certain threshold above other teams. You want to make sure right now in the second zone, where the server wants to make sure there's going to be about 70 people alive, we have 90. So, you know, 20 are going to have to go down. If you don't have enough damage done, you're going to start getting sniped. And here we go. Mr. Savage, this trio, 160 below. That might just fix itself because sometimes it takes a little bit to update, but it looks like it's staying permanent at 160 below. Nope. There it is.
There you got
351. Man, this lobby's really stacked if it took that long to update. So 90 players, 20 need to go down. Savage, Rift Guard, and Dreda, they're already above by 350 damage. Juriki might not be as lucky below. Many other trios might get desperate. This is where we might see lots of fights break out.
Savage, Restguard, and Andretta making to those adjustments, taking the fight to Malabuka. That happened right in the tail end of like game 3 or so, going into 4. But I would agree with you. Savage and Restguard and Andretta doing really well, solving the Storm Surge issue. Remember, we're at the very outset, game 1, they were having those struggles. They split that Steamy Stacks here. It looks like they're going to have a big struggle right in front of them. It is the defending FNCS champion, Jerky, Trulix, and Queasy here to bring the fight. This is a prime real estate Storm Surge area, and they want a piece of it.
Yeah, look at the difference between two teams too. Savage, Restguard, and Andretta instantly turtle into metal builds. Meanwhile, Trulix, Squeeze, they're looking for ways to find any type of, empty holes inside the space, any way that they can actually get some free damage. These guys are going to turtle really, really hard and not let these guys in.
This is going to be a very important moment. This is literally a battle that was happening from the previous season. That's first and second place. They just hit me right then and there. The scrum is still happening. So that is what's so exciting to see them go at it. Oh my goodness. A very exciting team being infected by Storm Surge. It's Fasroki, Void, and Karma. They were just being the thorns of the lobby here, and now Karma is going to have to do something here just to get any kind of points here, because placement points have not been doled out here. This is one of the hottest teams of day 1. Definitely this would be a huge cooldown for them, but look at the box fighting as we get an overhead look at what is happening here, like what Karma is dealing that's right behind them. Ingram, who got knocked previously at the Aftermath, is still wounded here in this fight. We have Fleck and Doku and Bitfrost, or Kumo, coming all the way from Coral Castle here as well. This is nasty, and this is all the result of Storm Surge.
Yeah, these teams not doing enough damage. As a result, they're getting punished by the Lightning. And unfortunately, a lot of these teams are endgame clutch trios. Flecken included, and wow. Dog goes out. Mappy in front, they seem to be good for now, but Flecken needs to find some damage. He has a few minis to tank this, but 7 people need to go down.
Queasy's trio got 2 knocks on Savage's trio. I gotta definitely keep an eye on that in the feed, because that's gonna be, wow, for Savage, day 2 is where they slowed down last season championship.
Yeah, they had a very nice leg up in that last season too. This time they're in 5th place overall for Flecken, though. The POV we're watching right now, this is just trouble. And Storm Surge, it's still just raining down in front of 3 different people by himself. Still hasn't taken any player damage just yet, but that'll change in a second.
All the teams rotating over from the West Coast are dealing with all these issues of that max pull and another red rush. Asterios go down. It's up to Mappy. He has a purple pump. Yes. Able to use that power there and pick up his teammates, and he's going to be able to pick up his other teammates. The whole trio is going to be able to vibe, but now this is where the big oh no, because look, it is. They become not just Noah Riley is going to give him the capital N and the capital O. Now you're going to face the capital B, which is B for beaming. That's a lesson right there in the alphabet, and the lesson is right here. Noah Riley is a beast when he's sitting outside of your box.
I'm wondering why Noah Riley's even here. It looks like him, Aqua, Vidil might have had some trouble on rotation.
Is he by himself?
It might be. I mean, he's way deep in zone, and I don't see any other arrows of that same color nearby. So looks like he forces Mappy to use one of his own launch pads. He's going to just base up in there and take a late one in as a solo. Look at everyone else's arrows inside the circle, though. They're all facing here like they're watching theater, just looking for which person they can pick out of the sky. Restguard is back up with Savage and Andretta. They're looking good. No idea what happened to Trulix, Squeezy, or Jerky. It seems like these builds were kind of overbuilt, and I don't see them in the area. Maybe some revenge, and yeah, I see a lot of elims on the trio. They must have got knocked out.
Wow. Defending champion going down to 2nd place. Revenge is served on the dish cold, and that was very cold here. Now we're going to take a look. Look at the mini map. I just want to point this out, folks. That is the dockside dish. That is one of the hottest spots this season. So many trios are already surrounding that perma pad, kind of like dinner is being about to be served, and they got their plates out because they want to be fed, and that's going to be the kind of like a serving of a new zone. That's what they want, that new hot zone. They want to be safe.
I was wondering if we get a double check on that zone too, because there's way too many teams on the left side right now. The right is completely empty. Just look at this. Legends stacked up side by side. Andy, the winners from the reboot round, also doing pretty well on day 1. Amplify 80 and Matt, so they're looking for control once again. 22 teams entering a zone that actually favors a majority of them, so the right side will now move all the way over to the left. All of these guys benefit a little bit, but still Amplify is not in yet. They'll have to edge in just slightly. ADM's gonna be leading the charge here. It's gonna be very tricky. Any damage done here could spell disaster, but they're gonna be fine as they move. Brilliant rotation. Now in the same zone as kind of Steady, Cammy, Teak. A lot of other trios near their side. They have to just rebuild, make sure they can farm up as well. Elocrat's right above him, Andy now below. These guys were all on the same layer before, but now because of this big mountain in the way, it's gonna change everything about this next end game.
Here we go. Like I said, a lot of people looking around this perma pad. It's a great place to replenish your resources here. Elder, Tosai, and Rotary. One of those surprise teams that kind of stuck around in the middle of the board now, in the himself against the Loot Boys. Trying to go for those quick edits. Yes, he gets a 50 tag. Not as much power that he wanted to hit with that one. He's gonna have to reset here. That was almost like a very powerful jab with that shotgun blast. Gonna be satisfied with that. Rotary gonna hunker down here, use that chug cannon, replenish his stamina. Let's see if he's gonna be over the threshold for Storm Surge. 13 people have to go down. Nope. Yes, he is. So that just shows you that 13 person, that is the threshold. So there are a lot of people are gonna be teetering back and forth on that Storm Surge line.
And now if you look at the mini map in these positions with Jaggy,
oh no,
30 going down, you can see the difference between having a poor position and a rich one. When you're kind of in a poor spot, you don't have any choices. You kind of have to, you know, work with what you're dealt with. And so many people here are just sardines side by side. When you're rich though, on top of this mountain, you have all the options available. You can choose which trio to bully. You can have your hand at so many elims. This is just two very different sides.
Listen to the action that's happening right now. Storm Surge is causing the rattling of bullets, colliding against metal builds, colliding against brick. And look at this, Stormy Right gets knocked. That is going to be our first place already in a desperate situation. And look at, there's so many people on this line, Shayo. Zone 5 has been revealed, the half in and half out, and basically 90% of our lobby has to move out.
The rich still keep eating though. They'll have the first choices to move and be very close to the zone. Meanwhile,
they lost
the poor still
right.
fight the poor. Kiriachi two's in the same boxes as others. And yeah, Stormy Right is just completely down. Tucson defense is going to be against a trio right above him. Looks like it's Splash. Both dealt significant damage to each other. This is going to be really tricky. They have enough to kind of be ahead of Surge, but they've lost a teammate in the process and they still have to move.
This is what's happening here. It is the game one of day 2. Our top 5 are basically affected. 2, 3, and 4 are out of this match already. So that's going to be a prime opportunity for Kiriachi to put some distance on the people that are nipping at his ankles. Elder here, Rotary, taking some shots on the people gliding over as the movement is happening. On the bottom right of the screen, Teak using the triple spray. Did they get the elimination there? Yes, they do on Karmi. This is some great work for Cammy, Steady, Teak, who are looking to polish up their performance from day 1 and have a better finish in day 2.
Elder using a gas cannon on the top right. Everyone almost getting in on the mini-map section of your screen. You can see ZQ gets picked apart. Elder, Rotary, Toasty, they're doing big damage to every trio on their lair. It's so scary trying to survive when you're all the way on the ground. As a result, lots of teams trying to move up. This one at the top right, they don't have the same game plan. They're looking to get down. They're looking to just get gritty with everyone else. 16 seconds though to see who actually has the benefit of this zone. If it pulls left, the majority of this lobby will have a little bit of a taste of how it is to be rich. They'll be able to be right on that zone line and keep moving. If it goes towards the right though, we go up another mountain, even the rich might suffer. And the richest right now, the top 1%, it's Refsguard, it's Savage. They're moving already to where the zone pulls. It's right and towards the south. Worst case scenario for the whole server. They're there first. And now Teak, they'll have to get really creative with this next rotation. Their builds are on fire and they have to pace this launch pad very, very meticulously to make sure it does not get blocked.
Yeah, you talked about that adrenaline rotation. When you're up that high, you have the ability to glide over all the chaos that's happening down below. Literally, T, Cammy, and Steady, they had fire at their feet now. Wings is getting elimination on Patrick there, but he gets traded out by Zestin here. Let me take a look. Who has that advantage? We're Steady and Dreaded. We're able to get there. Steady's going to fly over. Savage and Tayson. Looks like Tayson's on the ability underneath all that. Orion's there as two. Steady and Cammy and Teak are going to stick down to the ground. And hey, this trio has been in game a lot in day 1 on the low ground.
Yeah, and this entire zone's going to be a roller coaster. We're going up, down on the side of the mountain.
That's what I wanted to see.
Low ground's going to be changing. And yeah, Savage, Resguard, and Dreda, they still hold on. Elocrat's going up with a launch pad. Everyone's forced up. The big ride. Get up. Hen's trying, but he gets blocked from one side. Now the entire trio's kind of split apart. Is this a teammate or an enemy? Not even Hen knows. He's going all the way up. He has to leave him behind. Still moving. The zone's too fast to keep up with. He's taking 50 damage and not even a player. Hen's still going. Those aren't your teammates. Bills, you got to go to the left. Keep going left. He still finds Chapix, barely holding on to this very fast race, and there's people all around in every single build above him. Usually Hen's shooting him, but he can't actually find the space or the time. They finally get a little bit of a breather. Vito pops off with Tayson in the feed. They're going completely ham.
And this is a nightmare escalator right now. Everyone trying to get up on the mountain as fast as possible. And you have to keep going because it's going back over the mountain. Janus gets a knock. Balcony gets a knock here. But we're watching Hen right now, who is one of the best box fighters. He gets in the back. It's the Asian champion. Gets clapped hard. Hen, with the quick flick, gets out the Asian FNCS champion with a brutal force. Hen, Chapix here operating together as a duo. And this is going to be a scary rotation. They got to move around this mountain here as Kha'Zix gets taken out by the storm.
Two men just making an impossible puzzle possible. This is crazy. Still not affected, still in builds. Hen's run out on the side of the mountain, so high in the sky, and he can't even use the thing in Fortnite that helps you win every scenario. He has to do something here. Sure, right below 175 by Hen. Moves are not enough. Hottie blocks him off, and Dreda, though, he's still on height, surviving, thriving with his entire trio still alive. Teak is right below them. There's a big fight, 1v or 3v3 up there. Rotary's still popping inside the feed. Chapix did survive, but he's by himself now.
I like what Chapix has in inventory as the Chuck Cannon. He could give him a little bit of breathing room as he's navigating these enemy builds, as he's water falling down, as Haijo's on the low ground picking up some eliminations. Kirashi and Tus may have been eliminated from this match here, but Savage, Resguard, and Dreda in 5th place have the ability to move up. As also Clement, Floki, and Deciptos there, a full trio. Cammy, Steady, Teak have been pushed from second from height and now going down to low ground, but it's this elevation that Savage and Resguard and Dreda that did really well and got a victory royale in game 3.
Yeah, now you'll see them just squeeze the entire lobby, not only with their bullets from up top, but down low to the zone. It's bouncing back up the mountain. Chapix finally taken out, and now more will go down. They're all still in the zone, and we're gone. Teak deleted. Kylie's the last one left alive with any just, impressionable HP to make this a clutch moment possible, but it's going to be against 3 different players of high calibers. Refgar's already blocked them off all the way in the front. Where has just gone down to the storm as well. No one is surviving, and the people who had height the whole time get your first victory royale of the day. It's Refguard and Dreda and Mr. Savage.
And they do that with 7